Welcome to part 2 of my training camp update series. I hope you enjoy the video. Before I start, I'd like to mention I couldn't get tape at camp. We got pretty bad spots for filming, so I decided to just take notes the whole time instead. So here it is. First thing that was on my mind, and you guys will know this if you watched my first video, is Josh Norman really getting burnt left and right? The answer was no. The only time someone caught the ball when he was covering them was during the one-on-one drills, which, like I always say, heavily favors the receiver over the cornerback. There was only one other drill though, which was the full starting team scrimmage. The entire offense versus the entire defense. This is where Josh Norman shined, and it was quite apparent to me that he had gelled over pretty nicely with the team. He was locking down Deshaun Jackson, locking down Pierre Garçon with ease. All he needed was a little bit of safety help. Anyways, you guys apparently hate it when I talk about Josh Norman, so I'll end that segment there. And surprisingly, it's not the topic I was most excited to talk about. I was most excited to talk about the safety group, David Brunton Jr. and D'Angelo Hall, which are very likely the starters at both safety positions. The only reason there's a little bit of uncertainty is because we don't know where Sua Cravens is going to play, either linebacker or safety. But from what I've heard, David Brunton and D'Angelo Hall are the two starting safeties. They were extremely impressive to me, actually. D'Angelo Hall made a few big plays, a few interceptions, and actually batted the ball away a few times as well. He gave up 0 catches while I was there, and that says a lot. Here's my favorite highlight of D'Angelo Hall from this year's training camp, and this is actually a really nice play. My favorite part is just seeing the respect and the love that the players have for each other, congratulating each other on plays, even if it's against them. It's crazy. Anyway, moving on to David Brunton. He didn't have any interceptions, but he did bat the ball away a few times, and he didn't give up any catches as well, so both of them are looking very good. David Brunton Jr., he's very impressive. He was like 6'3", he was a giant, and he's also very fast. Very impressed with what I saw from him. So the talk about the Redskins having some very good safeties this year might just be true. In my opinion, I wasn't really convinced just by hearing it a few weeks back, but now that I've seen it with my own eyes, there's no doubt in my mind that we've improved there big time. And you guys can believe me when I say, I've been to training camp the past several years, and the defense has always been disappointing to me a bit. They would always give up big plays, easily. This year, the whole vibe on the defense was different. They were flying around, making plays, and most importantly, fulfilling their responsibilities to this defense. And that's the best news we can get from them. The next player I was very impressed with was Bashaud Breeland. And the play that stood out to me the most is when a receiver jumped up to get a ball that was thrown at him a bit high by Colt McCoy, I believe. So he tipped it, it slowed down, and it was kind of floating around in the air a little bit. Thought the receiver was going to come back down with it, but Bashaud Breeland comes out of nowhere and just grabs it and takes it and actually gets a pick 6. It was probably the most impressive thing I've ever seen at training camp in my life. It was crazy. And it really convinced me that his awareness has improved a lot this offseason. So I hope to see a lot more interceptions, a lot more fumbles from him this year. And I mean, you never know, with those two safeties out there as well, they might tip a few balls, and maybe he'll take advantage of that. So that could be my prediction this year. Maybe he will get a tipped interception this year. That'd be kind of cool. Moving to the offense, the two players that impressed me the most on that side of the ball was Kirk Cousins and Deshaun Jackson. Kirk last year at camp, he wasn't nearly as accurate. This year, there wasn't an inaccurate pass at all. Also, he threw 0 interceptions. The improvement is insane, and I have a lot more faith in him heading into this season. Also, Deshaun Jackson was just burning everybody. I mean, nobody could stop him. And, I mean, honestly, he looked a lot more agile and a lot more elusive than last year. And it's clear that he's giving it his all, his 100%, which is something we haven't seen in training camp in a while. Jamison Crowder and Jordan Reed also looked a lot better than last year. Jamison Crowder was diving for the ball left and right and really giving it a lot of effort to get the ball. Jordan Reed was looking a bit faster and was really working on blocking a lot more than the rest of the tight end group. Also, him and Kirk were the last two on the field there at the end. They were working on chemistry, I assume. They definitely were getting it done. Matt Jones, Chris Thompson, and Keith Marshall appeared to be the main guys they were handing the ball off to. All three were doing very well. Keith Marshall stood out the most because his speed was just unreal. It's not the same until you see it in person. Also, I've heard Matt Jones has really been working on holding on to the ball. He didn't seem to fumble at all, so as far as I know, he's improved there. I saw Josh Doctson catching passes, but not running at all. Even though that's not something that would lead me to believe that he's amazing or anything, you can tell he's got hands. There's no doubt about that. He didn't drop anything. Now let's talk about Dustin Hopkins, and if you don't know who that is, that's our kicker. He was kicking the ball over the net pretty much until it was around the 40-yard field goal, which was extremely impressive to me. His last kick was about what looked to be a 60-yard field goal, and he made it in, which was crazy. So overall, I was impressed at this year's camp. I remember really feeling disappointed after last year. The defense seemed sloppy, offense was making bad throws and dropping the ball. But this year was a totally different experience. Everyone seemed sharp. And sadly, I think this year there's so much talent that we're going to have to cut some good players just because we have so much talent. Anyway, that's going to be it for me. I wanted to give a quick shout out to Steelers Nation Unite. This guy has some pretty sick content. If you're a Steelers fan, or even if you're not, you need to check this guy out because he's got some cool highlight videos. He has this video, Pittsburgh Steelers Pump Up, 2016-2017. That's a good video. That kind of got me pumped for the season. So if you want to get back in that football mode, I recommend you check out that video. Make sure you subscribe to him. He's going to be making a video, I think, somehow involves me, so if you're one of my subscribers, you should also check him out. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Bye now.